our lovely Tasnim with us today. Welcome back. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Tasnim, you have 3 amazing films, of course, I know, as always. So what are the 3 films?
So today we've got all very recent films. We've got Scoop, that's on Netflix.
Okay.
We've got Beetlejuice, which is in cinemas. And we have Fly Me to the Moon, which is also still in cinemas, I think.
Okay, so let's start off with The Scoop. So what's this about?
So this is a dramatic retelling of the events leading up to the interview, the infamous interview with Prince Andrew in 2019.
Yes. I know which interview you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, the one. And it is a fantastic retelling of the interview. So it stars Billie Piper, which you might know from Doctor Who.
Yes.
She is Sam McAllister, who is the BBC journalist who manages to get the shock interview with Prince Andrew. And she's the logistics behind this interview, and she's just hoping it goes to plan because why would the royal family let this happen?
Yeah, why would they allow an interview like this to happen? Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and she's just trying, she's hoping that everything goes to plan. She's in the backstage, semi-media manipulation, semi-blackmail. It's all very dramatic. And of course, Gillian Anderson also plays a significant part in this movie. She is the interviewer.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's an intense movie. It's an intense, an hour and a half, but it is very rewarding to watch.
Okay. And what can viewers expect from this movie specifically?
So I think the fact that it combines the history that happened along with, it has very dark undertones, obviously,
yes.
Given
the context of why they had the interview.
Exactly.
Yes.
Given the references it has to Epstein and Maxwell, it's quite dark and sinister in that way, but it's also dark because it has broader implications of the way that our media works in this country, of the way that journalists might use some sort of tactics to get out information. But I guess in this way, it's sort of positive because eventually it has a better result for society.
Of course. Okay. And what sort of audience will enjoy it? Are we looking at audiences under 18, maybe a bit older? What sort of audiences?
Perhaps a bit older. Perhaps, okay. I think people who generally have an interest in news and things that go on, and people who enjoy a bit of drama.
Okay, fine. So what about, I think we have Fly Me to the Moon. What's this movie about? So
Fly Me to the Moon is, again, it's sort of a historical retelling of the events that happened with the Apollo 11 landing on the moon. Right. So this is a mix between a comedy and a historical retelling. So we've got Scarlett Johansson's character and we've got Channing Tatum's character. Right. And it's a romantic story of them two meeting and falling in love. But essentially, it doesn't start off as very romantic because Channing Tatum's character, he's the director between Apollo 11, so he's one of the big bosses at NASA. He's the one who's trying to get this mission to happen. Yeah. And Scarlett Johansson, her role is she's the media manager. She's essentially, what she does is without too many spoilers, she has a backup of the moon landing in case the original one doesn't go to plan. Yes. And she's going to have this one be portrayed if the original one doesn't go to plan. And Channing Tatum's character and Scarlett Johansson's character, they're getting a massive tash about this because he doesn't believe that this is ethical for her to do. He doesn't believe in showing a complete lie to America, to the audience, for the sake of it. So they have a tash about this, but even when they're arguing, you can see there's chemistry there. You can see that there's romantic tension there. Right. So overall, I'd say it was quite an enjoyable movie, but it's a very, some people didn't like it very much because it was quite unserious. Okay, fine. So what did you like most about the movie? I think because it was so unserious, it didn't take itself seriously at all. So you could enjoy the charming aspects of it. Okay, fine. And what sort of audience would appreciate this movie? Probably people who enjoy a good rom-com. Okay, fine. I think I might enjoy that. Yeah. So moving on to the last movie, Beetlejuice. So what's this movie about? So this is a sequel to the iconic 1988 Beetlejuice. Right. And this takes the story of Lydia, who of course was the heroine of the original movie, and now she's an adult and she's got her own teenage daughter Astrid, who's played by Jenna Ortega. And so Astrid goes up to their family attic and finds a model of the town that they live in. This model, which was, of course, in the original movie, Beetlejuice. And upon finding this model, she gets reconnected to the spirit world, and she and Lydia, along with Beetlejuice, have to figure out a way to sever the connection. And this, of course, has Tim Burton, the director's genius of being able to combine comedy and the spooky elements and the gothic elements that he's so famous for. But I will say, I feel like the movie heavily relied too much on the nostalgia created from the original movie.
So I need to watch the first movie then?
Not necessarily, yes, but also I feel like it had the chance to establish itself as a classic. But I think because it relied too heavily on the original movie, it sort of didn't have that. No, just because a lot of the references were, of course, to the original movie, but the plot was a bit simplistic and was a bit repetitive.
Okay, fine. So how much would you rate this movie then, out of a 10?
I think purely because of its iconic nature, like the Beetlejuice is, of course, an iconic franchise, and there's been so many stage drama productions created because of it. I think as a retelling, it was very faithful in terms of its style and the general atmosphere of the movie. I think because of that, it deserves a 7.
Okay, fine. And the other movie, just quickly, how much would you rate it?
So Scoop, I really enjoyed. I think I would give it an 8.
8, okay.
And Fly Me to the Moon, it was not my type of movie, so I'd give it a 6.
Okay, fine. Great. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Of course, inshallah, see you on the next one.